Well, Heidi, ho, and good morning. We are getting ready to embark on National Park 52 of our full 63 journey. This is going to be the Channel Islands. We have pushed our way all the way west. Directly that direction is the ocean. We've stopped here at the Harbor Cove Cafe. Alana has pre-ordered us some world-renowned, I hear, breakfast burritos, and then we pick an early,
departure.
An early departure on the boat.
Yeah.
Over to the island, and then we are going to be with our backpacking gear, tenting over there for 3 nights, 2 full days and a half day.
Yep.
Anyway, I think it's going to be fun. Well, we were on the very first boat over to Scorpion Ranch, Scorpion Point, Scorpion Cove. We're not sure which. The Scorpion part we're sure is right. The bottom line is we've been able to get to our campsite. We are in campsite 9. You've already seen a wee bit of footage on that. And we're all set up. We were able to not only bring our backpacking tent, but because it's such a short walk and so easy, we also brought our other tent over there, which is really nice because of the fox and some of the crows and ravens. They really pick at your food. In fact, I'm looking at a small fox
right
now checking out access to a tent and campsite. So anyway, you got to keep your zippers at the top and some other things. This is nice. We can keep everything over there. We can change. We can even sit in there if heaven forbid we got rain. The worst we've seen in the forecast is like a 20% maybe tomorrow, even though we have sort of gray skies here today. Because we got here so early, it's lunchtime. We're able to go out, do quite a bit of exploring today. So I'm not sure what that entails just yet, but here we go.
The best way to Channel Islands is by using Island Packers, the park's ferry service. The ride to Santa Cruz Island takes about an hour, plus bonus time if dolphins decide to tag along or if whales are spotted. The park protects 5 wild islands and nearly 250,000 acres of ocean. With no roads or cell signal, it feels like a full reset. Santa Cruz is the biggest of the islands and where our adventure began. After setting up camp, we checked out the Visitor Contact Center and learned about Scorpion Ranch. It was a sheep ranch in the 1800s. Now it is a quiet hub for trails, camping, and the occasional island fox. We spotted the Cavern Point Trail and went for it. The trail starts with a lot of steps, but the views are unreal. Flowers, cliffs, ocean, and breeze in every direction. We hiked back to camp for some dinner before heading out again for Potato Harbor. That trail hugs the coast with non-stop views. Potato Harbor itself, a perfect peaceful spot to end the day.
Well, those 2 hikes were absolutely lovely. And while a little bit shorter, they really did give us what we feel like is a really nice taste of some of the hiking here, particularly along the coastline. Now, that's not our mission today. Today, we're going to move a little more inland and put a much longer loop together. That's all we have to do today. Tomorrow, we have a paddle scheduled with some sea kayaking, but today, it's all about more hiking. Now, last night, last it was. It's not the temperature so much that caught us off guard, but we didn't pay enough attention to one, the wind, and we also assumed that because the campsite is in a valley, that even if there was wind, which is why we didn't pay too much attention to it, wouldn't impact us that badly. Unfortunately, I didn't really study the topology
we were wrong.
Well, I didn't study the topology of the island very much, but there's like it cuts the wind right through.
Yeah.
Like the valley is open on each end. So if the wind is from the right direction, which it was, then it just sort of rips through camp. And our big Agnes backpacking tent, it doesn't do a very good job of blocking wind. So we're actually thinking going back to our old discotheque. That thing is almost as old as our marriage. And it's warm. Like when we go in there to change clothes or something, it feels warmer. So we're not sure tonight if the wind doesn't die off. We may do a tent switcheroo, but other than that, it was fine. It was lovely. It was really quiet here. No complaints there. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting some heat going and getting at that hike.
We opted to begin towards Smugglers Cove since elevation gain wasn't a factor, as all trails start with a climb from camp. The trail follows Smugglers Road, which is an old ranch route that winds up from camp and rewards you with sweeping ocean views and loads of wildflowers. Smugglers Cove is a quiet beach backed by feral olive trees and the remnants of the old Smugglers Ranch. This place used to support vineyard workers and ranch hands. Now it's just waves, wind, and foxes hoping for a snack. It also serves as a trailhead for private boats that anchor offshore, as there is no dock.
Well, welcome to Smugglers Cove. This has been a really nice little stop for Alana and I to have a healthy snack and get ready to continue back on the trail. We're not sure exactly what way we're going to go just yet. We were right about 4 miles to this point with some of our diversions along the way. And no matter how you go, we went up pretty high and then all the way back down to sea level. And that's the same the way we leave. The thing is, it's still pretty early in the day. We don't really have anything else to do. So from here, there's only one small loop that we can add that is very similar to some ground we've already covered, or a much larger loop. And it's tough for us to tell exactly what mileage adder that'll be. So Alana's using the restrooms that are also at this trailhead or facility. And once she gets back, we'll talk about what our path is and get back on the trail.
From Smugglers Cove, we took Yellow Banks Trail inland, passing by the old ranch house. The trail felt remote, with open ridges of tall grass, canyon views, and wildflowers everywhere. It offered the kind of quiet you can feel. Our intention was to take a path marked on All Trails and Gaia, but we noticed it wasn't indicated on the park maps. This said, we found the maps available at the park severely lacking for anything other than the popular coastal routes. We did in fact find the route as indicated on our apps, but it wasn't exactly what we expected. It was very much a backcountry hike. It's not well marked, but with a little effort and a lot of huffing and puffing, we reached the summit.
The highest point. Well, we have made it up 1,808 feet to the highest point, which is actually over there. We've gone ahead and actually walked a little further over so that we could frame this little catch up here. The The hike was absolutely lovely. I will say it was the officially unofficial trail. It basically, there was a sign, which you should have seen in B-roll, that just pointed up, and it was a make your own path.
Pretty much.
Although there was a path in many cases
Most
that you could follow. That being said, it was not for the faint of heart. There was a lot of loose rocks. There was some scrambling at time, and it even impacted my ability to take some B-roll and footage. But we're happy. We've got 360-degree views up here. We can see the entire island. There's this, I'm not sure what it is. We'll put it down here. Lilac-y purple flower that's up here at this higher elevation. That's absolutely, it's absolutely beautiful. As for the hike so far, we're now a little over 6.5 miles, and we've done over 2,500 feet of elevation gain in this hike. So it is turning out to be a fairly significant one for some in their midlife, in their midlife. But we're happy to have made it here, and also been able to say that we made it this high. So now let's go find some cool stuff and walk downhill.
We reconnected with the official Montañon Ridge trail for the descent. It follows a narrow ridge with big views and brush-lined switchbacks, eventually linking back to Smugglers Road and camp, where dinner never tasted so good.
Well, last night's hike ended with right about 11.7 miles and 2,700 feet of elevation gain. And for those of you that have got your keyboards all warmed up, I do realize that we were not at the exact highest point on the island. I don't recall right in this moment exactly what I said. We were at the highest point within the national park. The island itself is split between a nature preserve and the NPS managed section itself. So we were on the highest portion of that. It would have been about 10 additional miles to get to the highest elevation on the island, which is Mount Diablo. That's correct. So anyway, we were plumb tuckered by the time we got back to camp. We cleaned up, we had dinner, and then the wind had not died down. So we switched back to old Disco, the trusty old tent there, which was a little bit warmer last night. The wind did ultimately die down through the evening, but we're still glad that we made that switch. So much so we've actually taken the other tent down.
Yep.
But it's not about that. We're not ready to leave. It's time to go kayak.
Yeah.
Some required, some optional gear for you.
I know.
How does it taste? Where it starts in the water.
Our Sea Cave kayaking tour was with Channel Islands Adventure Company, the only outfitter allowed to operate on Santa Cruz. They are based right at Scorpion Anchorage and offer everything from gentle paddles to cave adventures like ours. After a safety talk and gear fitting, we walked to the beach and launched tandem kayaks into crystal clear water. This stretch of coast is normally calm, protected, and perfect for paddling. We explored narrow sea caves and arches, echoing with every drip and splash. Along the way, we saw starfish, curious sea lions, a very cranky pelican, and kelp forest swaying just beneath us. It was the perfect mix of exercise and awe, a saltwater send-off to a truly wild island experience.
Well, good morning. Good final morning for us here. Alana and I have come down to the pier. We've watched the sunrise. We've been soaking up some of the sun's heat and listening to the ocean, really all to ourselves down here.
Yes.
It's been quite lovely. As we think about yesterday was a very enjoyable paddle. We did get right into the sea caves. We had a lot of fun. As with most group activities, your experience will depend heavily on the group that's with you, and
Not just the guides.
Not just the guides. Our guides did a fantastic job, but it'll also be dependent upon the group, which you really have no say over. And I would just I'll leave some of it to that. As far as stay here, Alana and I were talking about it here this morning, and we feel like we maximized a stay. We feel like 3 nights, the 2.5 days that we had, is good if you're really wanting to take in some diversity. We took those shorter hikes.
Yes.
On the first day.
Yep.
We took a dedicated full day hike.
Yep.
On the second day, and then we relaxed a little bit and took in the kayak yesterday.
Yep.
Now, if you weren't interested in that longer hike or even the kayak, I think you should definitely reduce your time. In fact, if you only wanted to do one of those things, a day trip may be more than appropriate for you. Again, if you want to add in one thing, then maybe that second night. But 3's about it, without moving at least to another section of the island and experiencing it by foot or by boat if you chose to do so. Anyway, that's our experience here. 52 of 63 down. We hope to see you at our next one. What is that, Alana?
That is Pinnacles National Park.
Pinnacles National Park next. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Bye.